Welcome to I'll Be There, the ultimate wedding podcast by Priya
and Nim
from Pristine Events. Whether you're a bride-to-be
or a groom gearing up
or just a wedding lover at heart, we've got you.
Welcome back to another episode of I'll Be There. I'm Nim.
I'm Priya.
And today we're sharing some more stories, but this time about bridesmaids.
Woohoo! So I feel like...
Why do you woohoo every time?
I don't know. I'm excited. I'm happy to be here. It's been a few weeks. I am excited to talk about this because I feel like as a girl, and you don't get this, and as a previous bride, there is a lot to discuss with bridesmaids and girlfriends and friend drama and hen drama and just everything. So
yeah, I don't think you really get that with groomsmen.
No. I actually don't think I've ever seen any of my guy friends or even any of the grooms that we've been with, like, I've never seen them upset about their groomsmen, or upset about the effort or their stag. It's just a very different world, I think, being a bride and the expectations you have of bridesmaids.
Yeah. Do you know what that reminds me of? You know, when my my stag was being planned.
Yeah.
And as a joke, my friend, you really wanted me to have a really sweet time with my friends. And I just said, I don't want to stay at like really crap accommodation. And so then you messaged the guy who was organising it and said, can you send me a photo of where Nim's staying? And then he just went on booking.com and found the worst rated hotel on booking.com.
Oh my God,
and sent it to you. And then you messaged him back being like, please, can you book Nim into his own separate hotel?
I was like, I'll pay for it, please. I don't want him to stay.
Yeah. Obviously that was a joke and I had a fantastic time.
Yeah. But it's just different. Like you wouldn't go into your stag being like, oh my God, I can't wait to see like what they've planned. Like I wonder what restaurants we're going to.
Oh God, what are they going to do to me?
Yeah.
You're like almost dreading it. No, you're not dreading it because stags are super fun, but yeah, it's very different to girls where you guys want to be kind of lifted up and celebrated.
Yeah.
Whereas on a stag, you want to be
ruined.
Yeah, and waiting for the next person's turn so that you can do it to them.
Yeah, basically. It's very, very different. But let's just jump into it. So I put up a question box on both Ange and Pri and Pristine just to see what kind of bridesmaid stuff people were going through. And some of the stories are really wild. So we'll discuss them and we'll give advice and hopefully help people going through similar things navigate it, because there's nothing worse than having a really emotional wedding journey and then feeling like you're not supported, whether that's with family or whether that's with friends. It can feel really isolating. So hopefully this episode helps some people. So I'm just going to read out some shorter
just
stories.
To make it clear, that's exactly why we're doing this episode, because it's helpful to brides, not because it's great content.
But no, it's both.
Yeah, I know, but
okay, I'm gonna do shorter stories first because there are some really long ones that are like multiple DMs. So let's do the shorter ones. Okay, fine. My maid of honour ditched one of my pre-wedding events to go to her man's birthday and then lied about it.
Sorry, say that again. You have to say it slowly. I haven't read these stories before, so there's brand new information.
Okay, my maid of honour ditched one of our pre-wedding events to go to her man's birthday and lied about it.
Okay, so you obviously look like that was a really terrible thing to do.
Obviously.
Is it the fact that she lied about it?
No, she is the maid of honour.
Yeah, but it's her boyfriend or husband's birthday.
Yeah, but you can celebrate that on the weekend.
I think the birthday is set in stone. He was born on a single day.
You don't even like celebrating birthdays. You wouldn't miss if you were best man, you would not miss his pre-wedding event to do a birthday thing with me.
If it's my birthday and you decide that you're going to go see your friend instead for one of her pre-wedding events, I don't know if that...
If it was Aline's pre-wedding event on your birthday, I would obviously go to her pre-wedding event. That I don't know how we're even arguing about this. That is straight up wrong. There is no way you should miss... If you're the maid of honour, if you're just a friend...
Yeah, but if you're the bride, why did you plan it on your maid of honour's husband's birthday?
I don't think that... You can't take into consideration everyone's...
I don't know, she's your maid of honour. She's the most special woman in your life.
No, you can't take into consideration everyone's birthday dates.
Yeah.
Your friends have done weddings on my birthday. Sometimes it just happens. It could be on an auspicious day.
You almost didn't come.
No, I came. But my point is...
Willingly?
Yes, I came willingly. My point is you can't control these things, especially sometimes if you have to do pre-events in the weekday, like in the lead up to your wedding. There is no way you, as a maid of honour, shouldn't have gone then. You should have just said, look, it's my husband's birthday or my boyfriend's birthday. I will be there. We'll do something on the weekend to celebrate.
I don't think you came willingly.
No, I'm not saying that you're going to be the happiest person in the world spending your birthday at
Yeah.
your girlfriend's or wife's best friend's Sangeet or Mendi or pre-event, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But that's just what you do as a best friend. Like, for example, my hen was over Aline's husband's birthday, but she was obviously not going to miss my hen.
Wait, let me think of it from my perspective. Okay, so it's my pre-wedding event, and then it's Thingy's birthday. Yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So I think in that situation, first of all, she should have gone. If you're maid of honor, you just have to show up for everything. Like, that is your title, and if you can't fulfill that, you have to just kind of have that conversation with them at the beginning, because there's nothing worse than taking.
Fulfill that. It's like you're like the queen or something.
No, but there are like certain roles that you are expected to fulfill, and if you can't do it, you have to tell the bride that, because all that's going to happen is it's just going to lead to constant disappointment and then resentment, and then on the wedding day, it's just going to be awkward. Like, trust me, I've seen it happen.
So basically, you should like make an oath when you become maid of honor that you will vow to fulfill all your duties, and if not, you vow to step down.
Yeah, basically.
And then what? Bestow that honor upon someone else.
Basically,
so you have to nominate the next person.
Basically.
Right,
but it is an honor. It is hard work.
It is the maid of honor.
Yeah, exactly, and you should do it properly. But then also, to go to the birthday and then lie about it, these things come out on social media or whatever. Like, you just look really dumb, and I feel really bad for that bride.
Yeah.
So
now everyone in our podcast knows about it.
Yeah.
Whatever your name is.
So I hope that she apologized, and I hope that she made up for it somehow, and I hope that you guys have worked through that in your friendship, because I'd find that hard to come back from.
It's not that deep.
I think it is. Okay, next one. We should do a part 2 on this. We've only got 3. Okay, so on my hen, some of my friends dropped out of the dinner and dance night out on the day, and then I had to pay myself for them.
Dinner and dance? Where
Yeah.
did they go? Like a charity ball? As in like clubbing?
I don't know. I'm assuming it's the UK if they managed to drop out on the day.
Yeah.
But then basically they then dropped out on the day, and then the bride had to then cover their ticket fees or whatever.
Does it say they dropped out on the day?
Yeah, it says dropped out on the day.
Okay. That's really bad.
Yeah.
There's 2 things, right? There's one, dropping out on the day you're letting down your friend.
Yeah.
And especially if it's like a small group. I'm assuming it's a small group. Brides, hen parties are generally smaller than stags.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. The stags I've been on 20 people. But bridesmaids, hens are generally 8, 10. Mm-hmm. So I guess if one person drops out, that's already 10%.
Yeah.
And then if a few of you drop out, it's just sad for somebody to, a bit like a birthday, it's just sad for somebody to have missed out on having a good group of people. That's one issue. The other issue is the fact that if it's been paid for.
Yeah.
So you should then volunteer to at least make up financially for what you made them pay for.
Yeah, that's just so cheeky.
Yeah.
I would, if that was me, I'd been let me transfer you now, or I've already covered the ticket, don't worry, and I'll make it up to you.
Well, and you should have done something sweet but got a table for you.
Yeah.
Or got a bottle coming to the table. That'd be nice.
Yeah, 100%. But also, why are multiple of you dropping out on the day? That's just sad. As a bride...
Maybe they went to the maid of honor's boyfriend's birthday.
But that's just sad. As a bride, getting ready for your hen night out, and then you're getting messages of people dropping out. There's nothing worse than that feeling.
Yeah.
It gives you that really sinking feeling, and you're worried already. Is it going to be a good vibe? And then people are dropping out, and you're just like, this is just going to be crap.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not on. And if you're going to do that, guys, be an adult and pay for yourselves. It's just not fair on the bride.
But surely don't hens aren't the bridesmaids paying for things anyway?
Sometimes, yeah, but maybe sometimes some hens the brides will lead on a bit more. So maybe this bride led on it a bit more and paid for certain things in advance.
Oh, that's pretty tragic.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I feel sad for her. I hope she had a good time with the rest of her friends. But yeah, in summary, those friends needed to have paid and done something to make up for it. This one said, my best friend got salty from when I got engaged, as she was single and unhappy, and she really didn't put any effort into the hen. She was on her phone and not taking part.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird with girls or women when their friends get married. I feel like it can be quite an emotional time, which I don't think your stereotypical man experiences as much. Mm. I have single friends who, when they go on a stag or when they come to my wedding, they're not sad about it, or there's no part of them which I feel is resentful about the fact that I'm getting married. And I'm not saying that happens with all girls, obviously, or women. But I do think I've heard stories like that before, which is quite sad.
Mm.
Yeah, but how do you actually put down her being on her phone to the fact that she was jealous or sad that...
Do you know what it is? I think, again, I think this is a girl thing. I think you get a sense of like someone's energy, and this person's meant to be your best friend. They're meant to be your hype girl. They're meant to be like, what are you wearing for the hen? Show me your outfits. Like 5 days to the hen, 4 days to the hen, like counting down, like excited.
God, it's a lot of pressure being a girl.
No,
to go into
it is, and we'll go into maybe like dealing with that afterwards. But that's what you're supposed to be doing. So if you're not giving any energy and you're not lifting your best friend up, and then if you're there and everyone's trying to like drink and dance and like play games and you're just sat on your phone, it's obviously for a reason, right? And I think it's a gut feeling thing. Like if this person feels like the best friend is jealous or a bit salty that she's still single, and don't get me wrong, it is hard, especially as a woman. I think there's a lot of pressure on getting married at a certain age, finding someone at a certain age, and moving on with your life. And when you see everyone around you doing that, you can start to feel down about it, and you definitely do start to compare yourself. So it is natural, but I just think when it's your best friend, you have to put those feelings aside and you have to be happy for her, because your time will come. I'm sure it will, and everyone's journey is different. But for you to then like ruin her hen, and for her to notice that you're just sat on your phone and not making any effort, like that's just sad. Why are you there then?
Yeah.
I feel really passionately about this because I just feel like you have to put in 110%. And I don't know, like I think back to like my bridal shower or like my hen and stuff, and I know I can say, like, I put my hands up, I ask a lot of my friends, especially at the wedding time.
Friends, family, husband.
Everyone. But like I had an abroad hen in Miami, had a bridal shower, had a rehearsal dinner, like had lots going on, had like lots of DIY sessions at my house that my friends dropped in to help me with, that I was so grateful for, and shout out to my friends and my bridesmaids. But I also think I'm that person at their wedding. So like, I just kind of feel like, I don't know, you kind of have to give to also get. You can't expect people to then give loads of energy if you're not giving that yourself.
Yeah. It's hard though, because we don't know both sides of the story, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this didn't happen.
Yeah.
But also maybe she just couldn't really be bothered to be... There could be multiple reasons why she was a bit disinterested in being at the hen, rather than the fact that she was specifically sad about her friend now being taken and her being single.
Yeah. No, obviously you don't know both sides. But I just think regardless, even if you're going through something, like whatever you're going through, if you feel like you can't show up somewhere and put on a smile and pretend to be interested and play some games, I just kind of feel like you shouldn't go, because there's nothing worse. And I've been on loads of hens, and there's nothing worse than when the people there aren't giving energy and the bride's having to try and like rally everyone up. Like it actually breaks my heart.
So you're saying that happened on a hen that you went to?
Yeah, it's happened on a few, and it's I've been on loads. I'm not going to disclose any details, but it's happened on a few, and sometimes I'm not even that as close to the bride as the other people there, but I'll have to like step in, because I'm like, that's so sad that like no one's giving her that energy or making her feel special or organising games or just getting everyone together. Everyone's just kind of sat around like on their phones doing their own thing, and I'm like, okay, let me just step in and do something about it. So I just feel like if you're not going to go and give energy, then don't go, because you're just going to ruin their hen, and they're going to be conscious of you if you've sat there with a face like a slapped ass. Like it ruins the whole vibe. I feel really strongly about that.
I can tell.
Yeah. Okay, someone said my sister cancelled my hen for not letting her boyfriend of 2 months attend my wedding. That is wild. That is wild.
That's pretty wild. How do you cancel a hen? As in, what, she just cancelled all the bookings that she had made beforehand?
I don't know. I haven't got any context to this, but
that's quite funny.
No, it's not.
Well, not funny, like ha funny, but that's like,
that is crazy.
Yeah, pretty ratchet behaviour from the sister.
Okay, let's dissect this. Do you think
the boyfriend should have been invited
if they'd been together for 2 months? Like if your sister had a boyfriend who she'd been with for 2 months, would you have invited him to our wedding?
I think it depends on what stage of their life they're in. I think when you're, not to be ageist, but when you're in your early 20s, if it was like a younger sibling and they're at uni and they've got a boyfriend of 2 months, probably going to break up.
Yeah.
But if they're 33 and they've been going out with someone for 2 months, people get married at that age when they're slightly further on in their life, because they're a bit more sure of who they are in life. And they can know someone for 4 months, 6 months, and then be very sure they're going to be getting married. I think it very much depends on what stage of their life, but broadly speaking, 2 months is not a long time. So I wouldn't have expected my sister in this instance to ask for an invite for their other half.
Also, it's just a bit awkward. Like, if you've only been together 2 months and then he's coming to the wedding as part of the immediate family almost, then is he going to be in all the pictures?
Yeah, but that's like another step, right? This is just, are they invited to the wedding?
No, I know.
This wasn't, are they in the family photo?
No, I get that. But I'm saying there's an added, that's also what the bride's thinking of, right? Like, people, I know people don't deep it that much, but I've done a lot of weddings, but obviously I'm normally the one reading out the groups. And either the bride or the bride's sister will be like, oh, can you not like include my sibling's new boyfriend or girlfriend in this? Because naturally you don't want them in the family photo, not in a rude way, but like if they do break up, they're the photos that you're going to put on your walls. Like, it's just awkward, right? So I'll usually do one with that girlfriend and then one without them, because there's nothing worse than looking back at all your family photos, you've got this boyfriend of 2 months potentially in there. So I do get it, but I just feel like to cancel a hen is crazy. Like, to pick someone that you've known of 2 months over your sister, I just feel like as sisters you should sit down when you both calm down and have a rational discussion to be like, can we compromise? Like, maybe he doesn't come to the wedding and comes to the reception on the evening bit.
There should have been a conversation, right? I mean, there was obviously there was definitely a step in between. Oh, by the way, sis, your boyfriend can't come. To like then going on a laptop, cancel. I think there was definitely a conversation in between.
Or like, why did you need to cancel it? If you fell out and didn't want to go, you could have handed over to another bridesmaid and been like, look, we're not in a good place right now. Can you carry on planning the hen, or can you just make sure it goes ahead? To cancel it is just really, it's a bit evil.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be cynical to this person who's told you the story, but maybe cancelling is a bit of an exaggeration. Maybe it's just she stopped organising the hen and therefore it was cancelled, rather than how can you cancel something that other people are attending and it's not an event that you've organised, right? It's not like she's invited people to a place that she owns and runs. It's, oh, we're going on holiday, or we're going to this cottage trip and we're doing X, Y, Z. How do you cancel that? Unless you're literally the person booking it and then you've cancelled the booking.
Yes,
then that's evil. That's...
maybe it was like one of those free cancellation like so a week before and she just went on and was like, cancel. That's so crazy. I feel sad, because what if she just didn't have a hen at all then because of all this drama? I mean, I hope that sister is still with the boyfriend of 2 months to have made it all worth it. But I think in that situation you have to have a conversation together and come to some sort of middle ground, because also if you say no to the boyfriend, you then don't want your sister to be at your wedding and be pissed off and bring that pissed off energy. Like, it's really hard. Weddings are so hard. Like, you have to try and manage so many people's emotions around you, which is unfair because it's also your day, but I don't know, it's hard.
Especially close family members, you have to constantly be thinking of things from their perspective.
Yeah.
Because like I said, with the 2 months thing, it's so easy to just be like, they barely know them. The person getting married is like, I've known my partner for 5 years. They've known them for 2 months. But for that person, it might be like, I feel really awkward sitting at the family head table, being by myself when everybody else is coupled up. And they might feel awkward and alone, and they might just be a shy person.
They want like a plus one. Yeah, no, that's true. That's a fair point.
Thank you.
Okay, next one. So this one I think is from a bridesmaid or a maid of honour.
Okay.
So it said, the bride fell out with me over her hen, but still expected me as a bridesmaid to give a speech. Oh, and then she blamed me for her wedding day being shit because I turned up and I don't know what the rest of it said. I think it got cancelled. But essentially, she fell out with her at the hen, but still expected her to do a bridesmaid speech. I feel like you shouldn't have speeches for the sake of it.
Yeah, agree. I think people think that it'll look awkward if you don't have a bridesmaid speech. But having been to so many weddings, no one cares about the bridesmaid speach. So having one is awkward in itself. Right?
No, you're so
Just
rude.
me? Okay. No, I'm joking, obviously. Yeah, definitely don't have speeches for the sake of having a speech. I think in that instance, I think they felt that without one, maybe her other half, her husband to be, is going to have loads of speeches and like a really popular member of society. And if they don't have a speech, it makes them look a bit trash. So to be honest, I think a lot of these stories, I think the person being referred to is oblivious. I don't know that for a fact, but I don't know whether the bride knows that in that situation she was being a terrible person, and then was just like, oh yeah, hen was fine, but the bridesmaid's like, that was the worst hen ever. She was so snappy, but maybe the bride was just being quite demanding, and then was like, okay, cool, like, make sure you make a speech, and then the bridesmaid was like, what the hell? Not the way that you spoke to me at the hen.
Yeah, no, maybe. But this is what it comes down to. I think people sometimes are scared to have honest conversations like with the bride, and I get it because it's their lead up to their day and you're kind of thinking whatever, I'm just gonna like wait. And equally, I think sometimes brides are scared to have conversations with bridesmaids or friends about feeling a type of way or feeling let down or wanting more effort because they don't want to create awkwardness. But I actually think sometimes, I know it's awkward, but I actually think sometimes it's good to just have that chat before the wedding.
Yeah.
Because otherwise things just build up and then on the wedding day it's either a little bit fake or it's a little bit awkward, or you're harboring this deep down resentment and you're just getting through the day. And there's been so many people that have messaged that have said, like, if I went back, I would pick different bridesmaids. I wouldn't have bridesmaids. I would have had different people around me. Because now when you look at pictures, it's bittersweet because you've got these people in your all these like really amazing shots that actually remind you of either a triggering time or a sad time or a stressful time. And talking from my own experience, I had quite a direct conversation with a friend, maybe like 2 months before the wedding. I won't go into too many details, but just because of like lack of effort and things like that. And I wasn't going to say anything because I was like, whatever, like it's fine. But actually she called me, we had a really direct conversation. I explained all the ways that I'd been feeling and she actually took accountability and was like, you know what, you're so right. Like I haven't done X, Y, and Z and I've been like this. And it felt good for me to tell her that. And then it just meant when it came to my wedding, I didn't have that feeling of like, I don't know, resentment, or like just like being annoyed at her. Like I felt like, okay, we've discussed it, you've taken accountability, you've apologized, and now we can just have a really good 3 days. And I think sometimes people avoid that, but actually if you do it in a calm way and not in like a defensive, aggressive way, sometimes you can get a good outcome from it.
No, I think you're right. I mean, it all comes down to having these open, honest conversations, and having those conversations are what is so difficult. Yeah, good on you. That's some good advice. I think the same thing could be said for siblings or family members. If you feel like either they're not making effort or you want them to make more effort before the wedding, like I think have those conversations early on, because when you don't say these things out loud and you build them up inside, all that happens is that when you're really stressed near the wedding day or on the wedding day, it sort of just comes out. And then also you're pissed off on the wedding day and it ruins it for yourself.
No, I agree. And I think on that point, before we go on to more stories, I also think, and I say this to everyone that gets married, because we get a lot of these messages in like throughout the year about either not feeling excited, friends not giving them excitement, bridesmaids not doing a lot. I'll say this to the camera. You have to bring your own wedding energy. Like you cannot rely solely on your fiance, on your bridesmaids, on your family. Like it has to come from within. That sounds so lame, but it's so true. Like for my wedding, it was obviously a very triggering time for me to do it without my mum, but I just made sure I tried to bring the magic wherever I could. So I would wear like my bride merch around the house. Whenever I was doing Wedmin, I would put on wedding films. I'd always have wedding playlists on. Obviously, I'm one end of the spectrum that I love weddings. So I feel like my whole life for those 18 months was weddings. But I got myself excited. I wasn't relying on like everyone around me to every day be like, you're getting married and what's the update? Like, because the reality is people are busy. Like your friends are busy. They're in different stages of your life, especially as a woman. Like some are having kids, some are moving country, some are like going up in the career ladder, like some are buying properties. Like they're not all thinking in the same space that you are.
And no one cares as much about your wedding as you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So, of course, your friends aren't going to ask you every day, what have you been up to? What supplies have you booked? What are you making? They might check in every couple of weeks, but that's not the forefront of their mind. So it has to be the forefront of yours and you have to be excited about it. As much as it's stressful, I think you have to create your own wedding magic. And that's what I did. And I loved it. Okay, let me go on to the next one. This person said, and I really understand this. They said, I'm getting married at 35, so I'm not feeling prioritized like you did when everyone else got married in their late 20s.
Yeah, that's really hard.
Yeah.
It's a first mover principle, right? So if you're the first person to get married in your friend group, everyone's really excited for your stag. If you're going to get married abroad, everyone's really excited to come with you. Everyone's really excited for the first big party amongst your friend group. And as soon as it's the last person, and we've discussed this before, but if you have kids, if you're now married, if you've moved out somewhere else, far away, you're just in a different phase of your life.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's really hard. I don't know what the answer to that is.
No, there isn't one. And I think exactly as you said, like no one's going to care about your own wedding the same way that you do.
Yeah.
And I think this applies more for women than men, because I feel like men, for the most part, not to stereotype, can just still turn up and show up,
Yeah.
whether they're
Yeah.
early 30s, mid 30s.
Yeah.
Whereas like I look at the differences between our friends, the majority of my friends now are having kids, or have had kids, so it is different. But I think what you have to be okay with is maybe having less people or less close people that are going to make the effort compared to what you would have had in your 20s,
Yeah.
because generally your circle gets smaller as you get older. And then the second thing I would say is set your expectations not low, and I don't mean that in like don't expect anything, but don't give them ridiculous amounts of work to do,
Yeah.
or like organizing to do, because then it's just not going to happen. You're going to be let down. And like even for me, even though we got married like when I was 29, I still was aware that like some of my friends were having babies, had moved countries, etc. So I didn't actually really give my bridesmaids any roles, apart from literally just please just show up and bring energy. Like the only thing they did was maybe a couple weeks before the wedding, they came and helped make some DIY fans. But I wasn't like, right, you have to do X, Y, and Z, you have to find X, Y, and Z dress. I just kind of did most of that myself. And I feel like that way, they're not going to be let down.
Yeah, I think one thing to note is I think you just need to be okay. And I think the fact that it sounds like, has this person already got married?
No, she said getting married.
Yeah, I think she obviously has the awareness that people are in a different phase of their life. So I think manage your expectation of what the wedding day is going to be like. And that doesn't mean lower it, it just means manage it. So it's not going to be the same potentially crazy rave that you had 7 years ago when the first person got married, and like maybe you are only a couple of years out of uni. You're now in a different phase and people have brought their kids, but there can be an element of nostalgia and people kind of coming together, do cute things where it's like photos from university times or school times or whatever phase of their life that was from, that they know those people from, and then just kind of it being like, oh, we haven't hung out together in so long, and that can just be a different type of feeling that you're going to have on the wedding rather than a crazy 1 day or 2 day bender.
Yeah.
Wedding.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I think it is all about managing expectations. And I think, like I said, giving them less to do, taking control of it more.
Yeah.
And then that way you're not having to worry about being disappointed. Okay, this one said, I haven't picked bridesmaids yet. I'm still thinking about whether I should have them. And I'm stuck on whether to make my childhood best friend, who I've known since the age of 2, my bridesmaid, as she's so busy in her own life and I barely see her nowadays, and she hasn't really even asked about the wedding plans.
Yeah. I mean, had you not said that last bit about she hasn't really asked about the wedding plans, I would say it sounds like you're still really close to this person and hopefully she'll then suddenly be able to make time for your wedding. But the fact that she hasn't really asked, maybe it does sound like she's just got too much on. And then the fact that you're even having to question it sounds like you're potentially setting yourself up for failure or for disappointment rather than failure.
Yeah.
So I think pick people who at this very point in time you're still close with and you think are going to turn up. Because like you said earlier, the person, like when you look back at your wedding 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, often you may have now had different friend groups. And that's the same for if you're planning your wedding now versus had you done it 3 years ago, you might have a different mindset about who the people you want around you is. So don't just do things based on nostalgia and like, oh, 5 years ago when I was thinking about my wedding or when it was this person's wedding, I had sort of mentally prepared where I'm getting married, who are going to be my bridesmaid. This is the song I'm walking down the aisle to. Think about it at this point in time and then be like, okay, actually, who am I close to now? Because, yeah, it's sweet having a childhood best friend, but, I mean, you're not getting married in your childhood, right?
Yeah. No, it's so true. A lot of people think you have to make people bridesmaids if you've known them the longest, but that's not the case, because as you grow, your friends also change and you can I think it's fine if you've got really close work friends who really get you in the stage that you're in right now and you want to make them work, like make them bridesmaids, or like gym friends or whatever they are. Like I think it's fine. You don't have to feel like just whoever you've known the longest, which is what a lot of people do. And that's when I think sometimes you get let down because you're not necessarily similar anymore. Okay, you ready for... Okay, guys, I totally didn't realise we're already at 30 minutes, and that was just on the short stories. I've got so many DMs with long stories, so I feel like we should do a part 2 on this.
Yeah, next week we'll do a part 2.
To continue.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Please like, follow, and subscribe for more.
Thanks for listening.
Please like, follow, subscribe for more.